Endlessness, we break, we press. No more, no less. No truth, no sound, just rhythm on the ground. Our hearts unbound, we spin around. Golden hour in your eyes, the world below the silence light. Every move, small disguise. We burn, we never realize. Soft like silk, the fire stays hidden deep in our ways. Every glow decays, but the rhythm plays. The air is low, the room is bare. The rhythm rings, it's everywhere. You move slow, unaware. I follow, I'm there. Faint light cuts across your face. Time slows down, forgets its place. Every sound a soft embrace. Every move a trace. No words, no name, just flickering flames. No thought, no claim. We move the same. Under the echo we remain. No truth, no change. The sound that comes out vain. What's going on, guys? We are back again for another streaming session. Oh man, today was crazy. Yeah, we streamed Sunday, right? Monday was pretty cool. Of course, we saw that gap up, and then today was just really that continuation, right? So, what I want to go over is pretty much game plans that I'm seeing, setups I'm seeing for tomorrow. We do have news, we have data. Just my thoughts going into the end of the week or midweek going into the end of the week, and setups we can all bank on and look for. So let's lock in for it. Let's lock in. If you're watching this, you're tuning in, give a retweet on the stream, show some love, retweet. I want at least 300 people up in here. I want y'all showing up. I want y'all locked in because that last stream was very important. And the reason why it was extremely important was because I called out exactly what Spy and Q were going to do. Spy for sure. Q, a little bit weird, but I would say it's still pretty in line. And so if you're feeling a little FOMO on QQ right now, don't be, because actually Q hasn't even started the party yet. Q hasn't even started. Spy is a lot stronger, and that's just because other sectors are kind of holding or pushing it harder. Tech has kind of been lagging, and we'll get into all that right now. So before we get going, let's get at least 50 people in here, and let's get at least let's get a couple retweets on the stream. What are the 3 setups you're watching for tomorrow? That's a good question, and I'm going to go over it right now. So let's get it going, guys. All right. First and foremost, I streamed on Sunday, right? And I try and do it every night just so I can get y'all ready for it. But I was tired last night. Either way, Sunday night into Monday, we got the gap up, right? Everyone was super bearish on Friday. We held that lows, and I told you guys, we hit my purple level down here on Friday on SPY. Right there, you see it. It's my 679.83 level. And I told you guys, anytime we hit that level, either we're above it or below it, it's always an explosive move that comes from it. Either if we're above it, it acts as a trampoline and we hold as support,
or we're under it and we hit our head on it and we sell off completely. But this was, we're above it and we slapped it on Friday, and notice how we then ran from 679, 680 right there all the way to 692 in 2 days, right? So, absolutely insane move right there. But downtrend breakout, we're in this channel. I knew that, this channel, that if we downtrend broke out, it usually leads to a downtrend breakout. Anytime we're in a channel like this, it's bullish. We're near all-time highs. We gapped up on Monday and we pushed up pretty heavily. Now, I like this, right? We ended up moving up and we kind of just went sideways after that. And I liked it going into today, right? We ran to our first target on that Monday, which was this 688 zone right here, right? This is a very important zone. I knew once we got this on Monday that we're likely not going to go higher. We did wick higher, and we were playing calls for the move up into kind of this area right here because we had a gap here. I knew we would get near the gap, but we probably wouldn't make the move like we were going to make today. And I knew we wouldn't yesterday. That's why, I'm the king of the open, because really we're getting a lot of good action just in the first hour or two, in that, opening range. And after that, it's just kind of been sideways, right? So, if you want my trades, if you want to lock in with me, dude, I highly suggest that. I'm king of the open, at least have my guidance in the morning, and that's really it. From there, middays, either just kind of a trickle or just kind of the hold continuation to the next day. Today, right here, was insane. At open, I ended up slamming SPY calls here for that move up straight to 689, and then really our 690 supply right here, which we got above, and the zone said we were going higher, and we opened up above it and blasted, made a new all-time highs, a new zone, new everything. We were there at that top point. Absolutely crazy. Closing new all-time highs, which brings me to introduce the one of the three insane setups that I'm seeing for tomorrow. SPY. Yes, I know a lot of you are probably like, really? Yes, this is just getting started. Look at the daily. We just closed new all-time highs in a breakout of this range. I'm loving this. So tomorrow, what I'm going to be looking for is, we're flagging here. We do have data. Now, if we open up above 692.32, then it's game on. Any dips, I'm slamming the dips. I'm going long with longer dates, and I'm sitting back and I'm just letting it ride. That's the best thing we can do. We are further away from this gap down here. That's the only thing that was kind of worrying me kind of Monday, was we pushed up, will we reject and come down to this gap, but we didn't. Gap and go, and we're moving away from it. So this is why I like SPY a lot here. Flagging here, we're next targets up, guys, are going to be 695, and then of course the infamous 700 level. I think the market really wants that 700 level. It's priming for it. I'm seeing a lot of flow come in. Things are just ready for it. So I'm very, very interested to see what happens going into tomorrow, and I'm ready to size up. I'm ready to size up completely. I went normal size on these SPY calls. Absolutely exciting, right? I'm trading live. As we broke our level, that 688.90 level right here, I'm on live, and I was just like, guys, this is our breakout level. We have to go for it. As much as I honestly kind of didn't want to, I saw a lot of mixed movement here across, the watch list, right? We saw Tesla just selling off hardcore. NVIDIA was up, down, mostly down. We saw Google rip and then dump right back down. Google went round trip from 321 to back to 314. There's just a lot of mixture across the board. And so I was like, man, this is going to be tough. Q wasn't catching up yet. So I was just like, man, what do I do? No hesitation. We went for it, and we bought that break right here and ended up wicking a little bit down, but we got into some 690s tomorrow dates, and those went clear in the money, over 100%, ran to our 690 target. So we wanted those to go in the money, at the money, as that, and bank off that. Notice how we slammed into this zone. This was a red zone, so sellers were there. They stepped in, brought us all the way back to kind of opening levels. And this demand, buyer stepped right back in and pushed us straight through. Absolutely nasty, but sticking to your levels or the zones, the Rico Cap zones, is going to have you winning. It's going to understand where you are. You're going to know where you're at in the market. Buyers, sellers. Once this is red and we get above it, turns green. As you can see, we grinded through it. It's green and we push through it. now red, creating a new zone up here. Not bad at all. So literally we're looking for the same kind of thing continuation for tomorrow. We're going to break through that 692.32 and run to 695. That's going to be my first target right there. Next is going to be that 700, 698, 700. Regardless, this is looking so strong. Now, looking at QQ here, if you're feeling like you missed out on QQ, which you really haven't, right? Monday we gapped up. This was pretty interesting. We almost came so close to the gap. And then, we kind of just sideways a little bit and then pushed up today, finally hitting our 623, 624 supply zone. Finally, it took a little bit, but we finally got it here and we're there now. Now, why is this so significant? If we look on the 4 hour here, you can see I have yellow trend lines going across. And you can we'll zoom out a little bit and you can see right here. Let's get on the daily real quick. The daily is just going to kind of show it in a rough pattern, but from high to low, look at where we're at right now. This right here will explode. And when it explodes, it's running to those highs at 637. It's going to move. So that's going to be, what is that? Like more than a $10 move that we're going to be looking at. We have a little bit of a gap at 628. I would assume tomorrow, if we open up above that 624 level, 624 or 62, we're running to 628. We have a daily gap still open there. So that's what I'm looking for tomorrow. And I might even be looking to play this over anything else because I know that this is a pretty clean move, right? Above 624, 62. I've played these levels before. I know these levels. That's a purple level right there that I would have for Q at 626. That means, that's going to be a major level coming up. And, I wouldn't be surprised that we get there before some other major news, right? The major news, we do have for, I would say, going into the week, or at least tomorrow, right? We can focus on, day by day. But the news that we have for tomorrow is, what is that? It is unemployment change and PMI jolts. Jolts and PMI don't really matter. It's the non-farm employment change pre-market that's going to do us the justice on as far as the movement. So we're going to be watching that. How pre-market sets up. And so that's what I'm going to be looking at. How is pre-market kind of setting up here? Is it along the lines of, what we're looking for? And if it's going to be above our breakout levels, then let's go for it. No fear. Let's go for it. I'm ready to size up. I'm going to be going at least end of week calls or next week expiration. No lottos, no 1 days. I'm going to go a little bit longer just because we might catch a bigger move here. Now, this is not one of the three of the setups that I'm looking for, but this is a banger setup ready to happen. Second one on the powerful setups I'm seeing is Amazon. Amazon broke out bull flag out of today, and this was exactly the move I called out and exactly the move I was looking for with Amazon. It only took a week and a half, right? I was screaming during Christmas time, or New Year's too. But anyways, you look at this sideways, area we're in, all in this sideways. I was like, dude, Amazon is squeezing at this zone right here. We are going to get a big move out of this upward, and I cannot wait. Now, we opened up on that Friday, and this was just nasty action because we sold off in the market, and we banked off puts. So I ignored upside fake outs here, and Amazon was one of them where it opened up and pushed to my 235 level and then rejected all the way down in that Friday. I was like, oh, come on. Right. Monday ended up, I still love this setup here. Flagging right here. Either way, downward or upward was going to be a bigger move. It opened up upward and it absolutely, broke out really nice. Monday, that was a really good move. I caught that as well, or saw that as well. And I was like, okay, going into today is going to be a good one because this is bull flagging. Like, I love this. And we're right back to our levels that I was waiting for this week. Like, beautiful. Like, you would have made so much money if you caught it at that 227 level, which, 227 level you see right there for me is a purple level. Notice how from 227 all the way up to 242 in 2 days, it ran that much. Purple level. Yeah. And this was absolutely crazy. So I saw Amazon. This was one of the three I was watching this morning, blasted. SPY, Amazon, and I think QCOM are the ones that exploded. Google too, but that I'll go over that, but it ended up retracing. I didn't like that, or failed breaking out. Right. But this was a monster mover. I saw the 237s down here at 233 go from $100 all the way to, I don't know, $300, $400. Where are they at right now? 237s. Yeah, four almost 500. Yeah, I'm sure they went 500. So over 400%. Absolutely crazy. I called it out on the live. Did not take it. Too busy surfing those SPY calls. So pretty cool stuff. We had a good amount of I would say a good amount of setups for today, and I'm kind of mad that we had like so many explosive moves there, and I don't know. I just can't believe that we had so many explosive moves, and they want to happen kind of all at once instead of a few on this day, a few on that day. It makes me mad sometimes, but it's all good. Today was just one of those days where I'm just like, man, I love trading. I love it. I love it. Love it. And it was just one of those where we banked heavy, and I'm just like, man, I love trading, and I love doing this, and this is why I do it. So pretty awesome stuff, guys. If you're enjoying this, guys, retweet the stream, show some love, lock in. I'm trying to get y'all right here. I'm trying to get y'all right. We have some good setups, right? So this is setup number 2 going into tomorrow. Amazon continuation. I'm still seeing big players hit the tape on this. I'm still seeing flow on this. I'm loving this. I'm watching the 245 strike tomorrow, right? 245 is my next target up right there. Those contracts are at $100. Beautiful. Going in the money, out the money, those will be at 200 to 300 easily. So we're looking at 200% move on those contracts if we get that move. So what we're looking for here is same setup, flag pattern just like that. If we end up opening up and breaking through, I want to see a break of 243.16, clean break, run to 245 plus. From there, it's game time. From there, it should run, if it breaks that 245, it should run to 248, I believe, 250. There's not much room in between there. From the last times we were here, look at that. There from 11:10, there's a candle on the 4 hour, meaning that day or that morning, we went round trip from 245 blue level all the way up to 250. So we see that those levels are working, right? And then a few days later, we see that we knifed out of that 250 supply zone all the way down to 245 area. So we know these levels are very valid, right? And again, right here on this day, which is 11:06, we did the same thing. We knifed out of that 250, 249 all the way down to where we're at right now. So we know these levels are valid, and all we're doing is playing it right back up. That's it, right? Let me zoom out just a little bit more to see where we're at. We're just playing it right back up, right back into this level, all the way back up. That's it. That's all we're looking for here. So nothing crazy. We're not trying to reinvent anything. We're not trying to look for new all-time highs or nothing like that. We're just looking for that continuation. That's really it. So it all depends on that news, what's going to happen with that data in the morning. And then, kind of forward looking as well, what's going to happen with more data that we do have. So very interested to see what happens here. Let's look at my third and final major setup, powerful setup that I'm watching for tomorrow. Now, this one's a little bit different. And the reason why, I say that is because we're seeing a little bit more movement here after hours, and it's gold. Gold's down $2 here at the 411 here. I see that it is flagging. It's doing pretty much the same thing. The reason why I love this, we're eating a gap above right now. This is the same gap from, right after the day after Christmas, dumping all the way down, and we're eating, that move right back up. So, not only is it a daily gap, not only is it, an hourly gap, it's just liquidity to move us there. Now, we do have a huge gap right down here that we ended up gapping up into, Monday. And I'm watching that just as well, just as much as I'm kind of locked into this upside gap right here, right? If we end up losing that and end up losing 407, I don't see why we're not going to come down straight down back to 400. That will be an intense move right there. And I'm looking forward to that. Right now we're at 411. So we're still kind of in this area right here. Again, it's all about pre-market and where we open up. Again, I'm going to be looking if we blast above 413.33 to start running to 414, 415, and then finishing the gap at 416. So, a solid $3 move right there into that gap. I'm loving that on the upside. Anything can happen, but those are the 3 setups. One of those setups are going to absolutely explode. Now, let's talk about Google here. Google has been doing the same thing here where I've been catching it, blasting at open, just tagging that 321, 320 supply right there. I mean, it's the same supply I did on the seconds, right? and just dumped all the way back down. It did the same exact thing, right? The only day was yesterday where it had, that just day of just sideways, right? So crazy, right? Monday was just the only day that, just kind of went sideways. I don't know. I've been watching this and I'm kind of just taking this out of my mind now because I don't like that, non-continuation, right? Because if I'm taking a move, I know I can make money off it. I know with my strategy, I'm trimming into the move, but I don't feel comfortable alerting a play like that to my members because what happens if someone gets busy and they can't, immediately sell the position or immediately kind of manage it? I want them to at least get in and then maybe be busy for an hour and look back and be like, oh shit, I'm up, 100%. There you go. Take the win. I would much rather that. This right here is tough. Even though it is an hourly, if we look on the 15 here, it really was just the first 15-minute candle. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, I could make money on this. Yes, you can make money on this if you're fast. Not everyone's fast, right? And it's opened up 317, launched to 320, 321, $4 move. You had to have entered and then turned around, waited, I would say a minute or two and start trimming as you're already up on the position and going into the move. If not, you would have missed it. You would have barely been up, then not been up. And then, now you're down on it. Now you're, wishing and hoping. That's, I try to avoid faster moves like that. Sometimes it's harder to tell what is a faster move and what's not. So I'm not, I'm still staying very diligent when it comes to, looking for those moves. And so how you can differentiate like how those moves really do is kind of where it opens up, right? Google did not open up above the 317 level. Notice where we keep wicking, right? I know I keep saying it's the 321, 320 level. And yes, those are the wicks where it's kind of rejecting, but the real rejection is right here at that 317 level. Notice the body never has opened or got above that level. It's always right under it. So the only time I would know this would be an actual next breakout is if we open up, above that 317, 318 level, and possibly even above that 321, ideally above that 321 to go zone to zone. But again, this same level back in, early December, we've been pushing out of it and rejecting it. So it's just kind of proven, the same thing. So I need to see above that 317.98 level, preferably above that 321. If not, play it faster. Don't look to, hold or do anything crazy. Definitely be taking the wins a little bit faster on that name right now. All right. Shout out to you guys showing up here. Go ahead, retweet the stream, show some love. I want at least 300 people in here. I know it's a Tuesday night. Not many people will be showing up on Tuesday night, but man, I love this. We got some great setups for tomorrow. That's it, right? The Amazon, the top three, right? Just in case anyone's showing up and missing it. The top three is Amazon. This was the explosive move I was waiting for all last week. It took forever. And I, never pulled the trigger on it until it got above, that 233 area. And it just rocketed. Like today was the day it did it. I'm like so angry because this was so textbook. Like this was so amazing. I should have been playing this Monday the way I saw this. I saw this pre-market open up above the flag, and that's textbook go for it. So if I would have entered that and it rocketed and I held and, it kind of just held up here, my call still would have been up beautifully. And I could have just held and be like, oh, let's see what tomorrow brings. And then, of course, today, absolute rocket. So, this would have been easily a 10-bagger for sure in that range, but all good. We'll keep it pushing, keep it watching. And, tomorrow, those 245s, I'm watching those, the 245 calls for Amazon continuation. Like it's not bad. And they're super cheap too for Wednesday too, for, weeklies, looking at the weeklies. I was thinking about going next week, but Amazon, the way it's been trying to trick us back and down, up, down. I need that move right then and there. I'm not looking to hold this at all. I need that move. I need that bank in and out. Thank you. Take the money and run. If not, I would say the most easiest setup, if we do get that move, is SPY, I'm going to be looking for either the 698, and I can show you guys. I would say, I think the 13th I arrived. No, I think the 15th expiration. And I'm looking at possibly 700 strike. Those are at No, I think I'm going to go the 13th. And I think I'm going to go the 699, either 698 or 699. I like that. Now, the 13th is, what is that, next Tuesday? Exactly a week from today. That's ample amount of time for us to run to that 700 level if we get it, especially with the catalyst and news like that. I'm loving that. Get it for $100, nothing too crazy, and let it ride at least. That should easily run to 300 easily, maybe 400. We'll see. I'll look to roll up, as we go, but that 695 will be my main target first, and then 698, 700. So I'll assess the situation once we get there, if we get there, right? So that's what I'm looking for. QQ again, this is such an explosive move waiting to happen above that 624, 62 level. We're just going to move to 628. It's a $4 move, and that could do that tomorrow. That could easily do that tomorrow. We've seen that move happen 2 days or in early December. So, and we have a gap still open right there. Let's look at some of the contracts. These might be, no, I don't think they're juiced, to be honest. If I do this, I think I'll go 13th as well. And it can't be more than the 628. That's pretty juiced. All right, let's look at the 9th end of week. 628, no more than 628. That's about 175. Not too bad. What's tomorrow? The 7th. If I go to 8th, 628. Those aren't too bad. Tomorrow, 7th, 8th, it would go one day, but I'd probably go 627. And we would have to open up above that 624 level. But either way, if Q's going for it, I know SPY's going for it, and I already know those strikes are which ones I would go for. So I know we'd bank off that easily. So we'll see. We'll see about it. I mean, really good setups, really good explosive moves ready to happen. And I can't wait. I'm ready. These are the type of moves right here. I'm about to size up crazy. I think maybe like in February and March, I'm going to start sizing up like crazy because, and I'm going to tell you guys at a later date. I'm going to tell you why at a later date. But just know, all right, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to tell you why in a later date. Just know I'm going to start sizing up like crazy. I'm talking full porting my portfolio on some of these trades that I know we bank on nonstop. Like setups, we bank on nonstop. And I'm about to show you guys, how you really can run it up, with, I wouldn't even say a little bit amount of money, with a couple $1,000, I would 2K, 3K, 5K, 10K, how you could really make some huge money off of these setups that we see all the time, flag pattern, things like this. Like this is stuff we play all the time stuff. If you're a RealCap member, stuff I post in the High Conviction channel, those are the plays that are really, really going for it. And especially if you go 1 week out or a week and a half, say 2 weeks too, and you really dive into it, man, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. So let's keep an eye on this, on some of these setups right here. Now, NVIDIA is very different. I wanted to talk about NVIDIA here. I don't know what they're doing. Like we should be at 200 we should have already been at 200 by now. We're not selling off. We're holding this 186, 187. We're under the 192 zone. We haven't reached, 195, 194 supply right here officially. We came close yesterday, was it? But we're not there yet. But regardless, this is squeezing like Amazon is, and I see this like crazy now. Hardest part here is just kind of waiting for that setup, right? When is this going to happen? I would say, looking at it, the 4 hour did open up like that yesterday above this zone, which is this 191, 190 zone. We know it opened up right there. We saw that it pushed, rejected. We also saw it open up over here where it ended up kind of rejecting as well. So we know that, seeing that data, we know, all right, it's risky if we get a 4 hour or higher time frame candle open up above the 191 area right here, right? So that's not enough for us to say that's going to trigger upside. Even though the flag looks good, if we open up outside the flag, it looks good. That's not enough. I would say what would be enough is if we get an hourly open up above that 192.32 right here, right? We've never seen a candle open up above it. We've wicked off that a million times here, 3 times, 4 times. We know that if we end up opening up above that level, right here that we should run to 194, 195. That would actually complete this kind of squeezing area, and that would run us to 200. That would definitely run us straight to 199.30, pretty much 200 right there. And you can kind of see, the flag pattern like that, how it would look kind of like that flag pattern. Boom. Does that look familiar? Yes, it does. Right. We see that, you know, Amazon did the same exact thing, right? We see that sideways. Technically, if you just ignore this down day, but sideways broke out and then moved. So it's kind of the same exact setup on a higher time frame. We're just watching this, and if it's a higher time frame, we know it's just going to be an explosive move. So pretty crazy stuff. But right now, my main focus is SPY downtrend breakout of this channel. We gapped up. We're moving up on a 4-hour. I think the daily, we're still on a daily uptrend. Hourly, 4-hour, everything looks good. This is just one of those things where all the higher time frames are on our side right now, and we can't be scared. We can't be scared at all. Now, I will be a little bit scared actually if we get kind of closer to this gap down here. I'm looking for dips on SPY if we open up above, that 692, 691 area. I'm okay even if we open or even stay around kind of this 690 area. As long as we stay above this 690 zone, I'm all right with that. And the reason why I'm all right with that is because that's the previous highs from New Year's Christmas Eve. I'm sorry, right around Christmas Eve. We're expecting this breakout. See how we never opened up above it. See how we opened up above it on this candle and blasted. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now we need to stay above this. So I'm looking for dips as long as they stay above this. I'm still bullish as ever, but I can't really get, extremely risky with it until, we're fully away from these gaps down here. Right. I don't think we have any daily gaps. No, we don't. It's just an hourly gap. So for some, sometimes, and it sucks to say this, sometimes that if we gap up on a Monday and they leave it open, sometimes we go fill it by Friday. Sometimes something like that happens where maybe, we have news coming out on Friday too. Maybe something comes out on Friday and we knife it. Maybe we just ignore it and we keep it pushing. Either way, I always keep that in the back of my mind, and I'd be a little bit more safer. So rule of thumb going into tomorrow, if we touch more calls and do things, protect your position. Best thing, right? Put stops above buy. I would much rather you guys get stopped out for 10% than hold and this possibly end up start knifing and they try and unload that gap all the way down there. And, we're holding 3 weeks out, but it doesn't matter because we're just getting knifing down. Yeah, I would much rather you, get stopped in the money than get stopped out and make a little bit of money than, having to be in that position. We can always reposition. We can always just wait. We can always, do whatever we got to do. Now, I just don't want you guys, to be kind of be like, oh, okay, well, Rico said calls are going to nonstop work. In a normal case, yes, I would be screaming that, yes, nonstop working, but this gap is still in our view, right? We're only on the hour here and it's still in our view. And, for a moment there today, when we slapped that supply and we rejected, and you see that red hourly candle again, we saw that. And I'm like, dude, we're not even far off from that gap right here. We could have lost that. And then we have a small 685 zone right here stopping us from hitting that gap. Like, come on now. Like we easily could have. So that's why I say be a little bit careful. We are, pretty good up here. And I would say we're out of the woods, but we'll see what, the data does. I would really hope that we end up get a nice move up. But rule of thumb is we close new all-time highs. We should see more new all-time highs tomorrow. Now, I would say with that rule is it doesn't really say how much all-time highs we get. We always do get all-time highs, and it might be, when I say that, I think traders be like, oh, okay, in their mind they're like, we're getting another massive day like today. Technically, right, we could easily push up and see more all-time highs by like 30 cents and then pull down, and it's still technically right. We still technically did see all-time highs. And that's the hardest part about it. We don't know if we're going to get massive more movement or if it's, a 30, 50 cent move, $1 move, and then they bring it back down. See, it's just one of those. So I think one thing I will be watching is to see if QQ's on the same side finally, right? We saw Tesla just drag us down into a gap or into demand, 429, 425 demand. So pretty much lost that 439, 436, jumped to 429, 425. Just been weak. This is a bigger demand zone, though. So I would expect we're going to finally see maybe some type of green day. We'll see. But this is just kind of setting up perfectly for Lotto Friday for Tesla. So I can't wait to play that on Friday. Should be very fun. We will see. And also, who else? QCOM. QCOM was another one. I mean, absolute banger inside of this move right here. This was another one where I saw it was flagging at open. You see that right there. It created a gap, gapped up, and moved pretty nicely. Now, I probably would have gone that 178.62 break and then ran to 184. So, really good move there. Just caught it, was watching it, caught it, seeing it. That was about it. Meta a little bit sideways here, really not doing too much. Microsoft ended up pushing up nicely. It opened up and, started going red. I didn't like that. And I think that's what was kind of confusing Q a little bit, but it finally caught up to a little bit of upside, but still sold off pretty heavily a few days ago, and it's still fighting that as well. Apple really not doing shit. I don't even know who. I'm not even watching this name. This is crazy. Apple is just pulling down. We're 262. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's kind of ending a little bit of an upside cycle. Ooh, hold on. Apple does have a gap at 254-ish, 253. We're at 262. A little bit of a ways, but it looks like we're just dumping right now on the daily. That looks bad. We hit new all-time highs and then just start getting away from it. This looks good. I am keeping an alert down there just in case. Maybe Lotto Friday might come in. Who knows? Again, this is something I was telling to the team as well on live. I was also telling you guys on the stream too, is just make note of some of these setups, even though you might not, add it. Just kind of make note of it, right? Because I know I'm probably not going to be looking at Apple like that, but I put a chart alert. I just put gap 255 to 253 there. I don't have to get on the daily to kind of look at that. I know it's there. Get on the 4 hour a little bit and just see kind of where we're at near it. And I know that, all right, cool. We see that right there. Alert me once we're down there, right? At 250, 258 area, 257 area. So if we get there, we get there. And, again, that could be a random play on Tuesday that I can't find a play. And I'm like, what's happening? And then I get a random alert and I'm like, oh, it's Apple time. Let's go. That's happened to me plenty of times, guys. I can't be everywhere at once, but the chart alerts definitely help. Just kind of setting that kind of move, that just setup, right? Just having that setup, just reminders is always a good thing. AMD, I posted this Sunday night, absolute move off of 214, 212. I knew our target above 228 would run to 234, 232. We absolutely hit that right there. You see that right there. Perfect hit. On that Monday morning, and then knifed completely off that. Look at that. Absolutely crazy. And even knifed again today. Had a pretty decent gap, and I called this out here around 217, 216. I posted this high conviction for the move up and the move down, and it did exactly those moves in 2 days, which is absolutely insane. Target right there, and then I had my target up there. I'm liking this. Looks like a possible lowercase h pattern trying to move down a little bit more. AMD has a huge gap down here in between or under 193 all the way down to 160, 170. It's just a matter of time until that happens. I have some alerts. I would say it's under that 194 level. Man, it would knife to 190. We will see, but I'll keep an eye on this once we get kind of near that, I would say. We're not super far off from it, but I wouldn't mind playing that. We will see about it. We will see. Good stuff. All right. Shout out to you guys showing up here. None of y'all showing up here tonight. Come on now. If y'all watching this, give a retweet in the stream. I think 150 of y'all showing up. Appreciate y'all showing up. Not bad. Now, again, we got some good setups, and I'm ready to go hard for tomorrow. So I'm ready to wake up early and see what things are looking at. I'm getting excited. These setups are looking really good. We have some good setups here. Gold up or down we're gonna bank on that. Gold up or down if we need to, we will be there. Amazon continuation or not, I'm loving this. Look at that. Like break out of a flagging again. And I love this little pattern it does. This is so bullish. When you see something like this, you know, obviously stocks are not going to keep ripping all day, every day, just straight linear up. Notice how we hit that perfect target at 243.16, and then just kind of just swooping down and then coming, that's just exactly what I'm looking for right there. Just in right here and then boom. That's what I'm looking for. Bullish as ever. I love that. I'm watching it. More continuation. We saw a huge buyer stepping at 240. So right where we're at, looking like I see it on the volume analysis. A lot of buyers at the 241. No real sellers. I think we're definitely running a 245 plus tomorrow. So let's see if we can get a capture of those contracts and bank off those. I want to see it work. I want to see what it does. I like that. Good setup. SPY, Amazon, gold. We'll see what happens here. See what happens here. Questions, let me know. We got good setups. We got really good setups. Slamming every SPY dip tomorrow. Drew is slamming every SPY dip tomorrow. He says, give me every SPY dip tomorrow. I'm thinking the same thing, but like I said, I usually I'm in chat, I'm in Discord, and I'm just like, give me every single dip ever on SPY, and then the day goes by and it's just like, damn, like he wasn't playing around. We went running, like any dip got bought up and we ran. So I want to be screaming that right now. I just can't. I'm whispering it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not screaming it. I'm whispering it right now. I'm writing it down a little bit. I'm writing it down. We have the gap down here, and I'm just like, in my mind, I can't get away from it because at any moment they could just knife it near it, and then it's just like, all right, now what? Are buyers going to step in or sellers going to start really stepping in? We've seen it. This is so tough. We're at all-time highs, right? New all-time highs. We have a little bit of gap. As long as we get away from this and stay above 690, I'm all right with slamming calls on dips and wait for that. Anything under 690, I'm going to have to pump the brakes a little bit and wait to see what we do towards that gap. Because again, one wrong move, one wrong tweet, one wrong, headline from Trump, and we could knife straight into that and we can wick right back up and it would be the nastiest of the nasty. So I think that's why I'm like, we'll see. We will see about it. Also, guys, I tweeted out a link for if you want to talk one-on-one mentor session, my calendar. Go ahead and sign up for that. I tweeted it out. Calendly, / Real Capital. You can book a 30-minute session with me, free, absolutely free. We'll talk and see if a one-on-one mentorship is right for you, or maybe if any of my other services, realcap.com, things like that. If you want my trade or live trading, just whatever you need, any questions, I'll answer for you. Whatever you need, where you're at on your journey of trading, or want to get into it, or maybe trying to take it to the next level, right? I know a lot about that. So wherever you are on your journey, go for it. And I'll retweet it right now again, or I'll quote it. Talk to me. Yes. Sign up. Not bad. All right. Yeah. I just wanted to quote it on that tweet and show you guys, or just bring the link right back up right there. Pretty cool stuff though. So yeah, if you're thinking about doing that, go for it. Go for it. Loving that. And if you want my trades, guys, wap.com / Rio Capital. If you want to learn more about the organization, riocap.com. You can also go to riocap.com and get sign up there if you want to get that phone call or talk to me. Pretty cool stuff though. Pretty cool. Always cool. Anyways, all right. I think that should be it. I don't think we have any other setups I want to go over other than those three. So out of those three tomorrow, if you're not a Regal Cap member, you won't know which one I'm going with, right? Pre-market is going to determine that. I'm not going to determine that. Pre-market will. Obviously, I'm going to pick which one. If all three are valid, then I will pick. But usually pre-market will cancel out one, maybe two. And that will tell me which one we're going with. So if you're not a Regal Cap member, then you will see me posting the gains after, and you'll know which one I win with. If you are a Regal Cap member, be ready to ride with me and into the week. Let's see what happens, guys. All-time high trading is some of the easiest stuff to do, as long as there's no crazy gaps. But even if there is, as long as we get away from it, it's some of the easiest stuff to do. And because you guys already know my strategy, I'm not going to I'm not gonna say it. You might have to join just to know what that strategy is. I don't know, but we bank off it every single time once it's new all-time highs. I think a lot of people get scared or nervous. Not us. Now, don't get me wrong, the strategy works until it doesn't. What does that mean? It means at some point, yes, we will top, right? Now, my strategy is not based off of trying to call the top. People will be shorting Monday through Sunday, getting squeezed, and then adding to their position while we're banking on calls the whole week. And then on Friday, when we sell off, we catch the downside too. We sell the calls for a huge win, and then we catch the downside too. And then those people that are shorting the whole way up finally get that win or break even or wherever they're at on that Friday, and they're just like, there you go, that's how you do it. No, that's not how you do it, and that's not how I do it either. So if you want to learn a little bit more, let me know. We can talk. Sign up through my calendar link. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Anyways, all right. I appreciate y'all showing. I think I'm pretty much done for the session here. If you want my trades, guys, wap.com/real capital. Appreciate y'all showing up, guys. And let's be ready for tomorrow. I'm ready to kill it. Ready to make some money. Today was just one of those days. That open was, why I do this. I love, it's just that feeling, that trading, just, when those setups hit, when you just know those setups are going to hit and it just runs and runs and runs. Man, I love that. Love it so much. All right. Anyways, all right. Appreciate y'all showing up, guys. Have a good rest of y'all's night. Get some rest. Let's see what data does in the morning. Pre-market will determine a lot. From there, we'll go. We do what we got to do, right? All right. Have a good rest of y'all's night. Enjoy. Get some rest. Hydrate. Do all that. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.